Yeah, let me start by greeting members of the media. Good afternoon to everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And also to thank you for your patience. No. I think maybe 2 seasons ago, some of these games we would have lost. I think for sure the Spurs game, maybe 2 seasons ago, we would have lost it or drawn it. It reminded me of a game we played against Stellenbosch maybe 2 seasons ago, where we drew 1-1. They equalized very late with a penalty, I think, with Sipho Mbule fouling, if I'm not mistaken. The conditions, the pitch, the rain. I think this team now has developed a lot of character. We bleed. Sometimes we bleed a lot around the box. But I think we cover up our wounds very, very quickly this season, and maybe even at this point in time in the season, it's not easy to play 3 matches in 7 days. And also the character, the mentality, the personality of the team. Yesterday I was very happy with the first half performance. I thought we were very, very good yesterday in the first half. But then we suffered a little bit in the second half, of course, because also the opponent is playing for something, trying to save their PSL status. So you can't dominate the game forever. And but I'm happy that we're showing a lot of character and desire in the games. And as I said, even after the game, without even having the exact details, but the first whisper in walking into the change room was we ran more than we have in the last couple of games. And when I went deeper into it, they told me that we actually did 20 kilometers more than we did in the last game against Yanga. So without a lot of training, without a lot of recovery, the players have put in a big shift. And I'm very happy and very proud of the effort of the players. Yeah, it's heavy is the head that carries the crown, isn't it? So we ask for the responsibility. The responsibility comes with what it comes with, and so we have to needs must. In the flight, I was actually talking to Coach Michael, and he says to me, "What's your plans for the off season?" I said to him, "Are you already thinking about off season?" He says, "Yeah, but you have to think about these situations and maybe do a club visit in Europe." And I said to him, "You are so far ahead of me. I'm already thinking about the next game, which is Tuks." And already started with the analysis on the flight. A 2-hour flight gives me an opportunity to at least to get one game through. And it is what it is, because the players expect information about the performance yesterday, tomorrow. They expect some information about the next opponent on Friday. It's a big game for us. We haven't been in this position in a very, very long time, where at this point in the season we're still competing for 3 more trophies. And so we just have to make sure that as the leadership we are on top of our game, and we show the energy and the desire that the players have to breed off from, and it starts with us. But yeah, needs must, and we just have to give more and more and more towards the end of the season. Yeah, but who's done it before? As much as we want to do it, and as much as we think about the possibility of doing it, but for sure, it's a very, very difficult task. And you have to think about who has done it before. And I keep saying as a youngster, I was probably not even thinking about coaching at that time. And I remember Mushina Etrigal's Kaizer Chiefs with the Operation Fat Alles. And even they didn't win the league, and they had such a good side, playing such good football. I remember, I think the Confederations Cup was still called the Mandela Cup, if I'm not mistaken. And there was such a good side. But that already tells you how difficult trying to win every single trophy is. And so we have to go game by game and try to establish ourselves in every competition and put ourselves in the next round of every competition. And we've done that very well at the moment. And so We've got to just continue with a laser focus and with a lot of humility and also minimize our hearing of the noise. You know, there's a lot of noise, but if we just stay focused on the task at hand, we should be fine. Yeah, I take it as a compliment. I think it's something that I think if you look at all the most successful teams globally, they've always had this side to them. You go to a Manchester United with your Roy Keanes. The Liverpool sides have always had some of these characters with your Jamie Carragher's, and Manchester United with I've spoken about Man United also with your Nevilles, and even though players like Rio Ferdinand were not always the getting dirty type of players, but they were always getting stuck in and with a lot of personality post goals. Real Madrid, that side with Zinedine Zidane that won 3 Champions League titles. Your Al Ahly sides that get dirty and maybe not so pretty. Now Miami at the beginning of the season said my talks are very painful and because I've still got a lot of pain on how we lost the Champions League last season. And even though the pain comes with maybe a good sense of motivation. But I think the biggest lesson I learned was the importance of the away goals in the Champions League. And I said to myself, really right from the beginning, is that if we are to lose a tie, it must not be because we've conceded goals. And that is one of the things I worked very, very hard with the technical team and the coaches to try to improve on our side is the team. I mean, you can just imagine being the best team on the continent last season, not having lost a game. But then you exit a Champions League, which is a playground that we want to be part of. And we want to be consistently featuring in the semi-finals, quarterfinals. But if you neglect the laws of the game, and at this time, unlike the UEFA Champions League, which we all watch. I mean, yesterday we watched such a good game between Man City and Real Madrid. And Sundowns cannot afford to be home in the Champions League and concede 3 goals. It's not possible because of the away goals rule. And that is why I think one of the biggest factors in terms of us becoming a bit miserly at the back and trying to keep clean sheets and not concede goals is perhaps how we lost the Champions League last season. And we know we can't change the laws of the game, but of course we can change how we perform and try to. Of course, we still want to play the Sundowns way, and we still want to be, but we have to continue with what we are doing, and one of the big aspects is conceding goals. Well, we want to try and leave the jersey better than we found it. The level is very high. Under the previous coach, for sure, the group was extremely, even more relentless than what we are. And we're just trying to make sure that we leave this jersey better than we found it. The standard has been set. There's a points tally that no one has broken. We tried last season and we fell 1 point short. We haven't won the Champions League yet. We are a club that is trying to entrench ourselves into being one of the best, not just in South Africa, but on the continent too. And we want to be remembered as a group that gave it our all, you know, even in the midst of some of the sacrifices we have to make and some of the sufferings that we have to undergo. But at the end of the day, we have to try to serve this club with as much dignity and pride as the supporters carry themselves, you know, for this club. They love this club, and you can feel their passion. And we want to do the best that we can to appease them and to give them what they deserve. And these fans deserve all the happiness that they're undergoing at the moment. And we're going to have to try and to continue that. We're going to have to try to do more and more and more each and every single day. And good is not good enough for this football club. It's a club that wants more, and we have to achieve more. We have to play better. We have to win more. We have to, and that is what we try to do every single day. Well, for every banana skin, you must eat the banana first, and so, and we try not to eat bananas. You know, And that's the focus we have. Try to respect the opposition. A good side with a very good coach. A coach that's earned his stripes also, because I remember even in my youth days, I would see him at the Tuks training facilities, coaching the juniors, coaching the Castle League sides. And so he's someone that I've got a lot of respect for, because he's earned his stripes. And then they've got a very good side. As I said, just in the plane now, I was watching, and I watched, fortunately, a couple of weeks ago, I watched their game against Swallows, and I said already, and not because it's coached by Musa Nyatama, but Swallows is a team that I enjoy watching, and whenever they are on the screens, I try to watch. And they played very, very well against Swallows. I thought they were really, really very good. I saw today that even though they've got probably Sibanyoni out, they still have some very good attackers. A player like Abrams, who can play on the wing back, both on the left and the right, and even against Cape Town Spurs, played as a front striker. He's so powerful, so good, left foot, right foot, ambidextrous, can cause you a lot of problems. They've got some very good wing backs, both on the left and on the right. They deliver the ball very early in the box. Of course, I think they'll miss Tamagu, who's really been important for them. But I think Thabiso Mokoena, the number 12, has got a lot of experience. You can see that probably the guy that helps them kill off the attacks of the opposition, maybe even give a pass to players like Samuel Julius. I know Promise won't be playing, but also is very important for them. And then the back three, the back three is very experienced. I saw some, Mahlangu, for an example. Harold on left centre back is so important for them. And so, and then the Namibian goalkeeper who was at AFCON now, good experience, keeps them in a lot of the games. And so good team, and one will go with a lot of respect because we want to see ourselves in the semi-final of this competition. But to do that, you've got to work very, very hard, and we've started our analysis of the opposition very strong on the transition, very strong on second balls, very strong on direct attacks and putting pressure around the box. But one of the things that I comforted myself with was that we played a team that played a little bit of a similar formation and a little bit of a similar approach in Cape Town Spurs just yesterday, and it was a good dress rehearsal for us, because we're going to need to be very strong on direct balls, second balls, dealing with the pressure around our box and set pieces. We're going to have to be very, very strong in those aspects on Friday. No, I can't, because there's a lot that's said about Sundowns, and I fortunately I've done it before in the past. I've gone on a social media sabbatical. So I don't know what is being said about who and how. I just watch the games. I can tell you that my opinions are that the decisions were right. And those are just my opinions. I am not an official ref. But of course, these are the things that happen in football. We lost an MTN 8 final because of some decisions that I thought were not fair on us. But that's football, These things even themselves out. I think at the end of the day, you win some, you lose some, and that's, I think, the nature of sport and football. You can't always be on the receiving end of the situations. I also believe that, and I say, you guys asked me and you laughed at the beginning of the season. I think one of your colleagues asked me, what does it take to win the Champions League? And I said, we need a lot of luck. And when I see the incident against Yanga, and then I say, we have a lot of luck, as opposed to last year's semi-final where we lost. And we lost that goal, or conceded the second goal, and I thought we were extremely unlucky. But things even themselves out. God loves us all, and sometimes when you feel he neglects you, he's got a way of showing his hand and saying, I'm still God and I've still got favor upon my people, No, but it's true. It's how I feel at the moment. I feel like there's God's grace upon us, and long may it continue, because there have been moments, like I said, Champions League last season, I felt there was a push on Toby. for the equalizer to make it 2-2. And we didn't get the rub of the green, if you would like to call it. And then this season, I thought we've had some very good moments, unfortunate moments, and all of that. And I don't want to even give any type of sniff to speaking about the referees. For me, all of that as a child of God, all the grace, the glory has to go to God, because these are moments that He shows up, and when you need Him the most, He's able to say, I've got you. And even though sometimes I may drop you, but I've got you.
All the best, Coach, for your Friday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, everybody.